the nature preserve here, and it's kind of odd. I mean, this is kind of where I parked at, and I think the trail kind of goes that way, but then there's a fence line here, so I'm gonna walk in here. I mean, there's an actual sign that says nature preserve or conservation education reserve, so looks like it is open. But here's kind of the look when you first get in, and I think this trail kind of loops around. All right, so I just came from that direction, and I'm gonna take this half-mile trail here. There's another main trail that's paved that goes up here, but I'll walk that a little later. As you can see, there's some little side trails here, which actually, we'll take this one. I'm sure it'll loop around or something, but got the old machete in case it gets too woodsy. But yeah, nice area.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I'd like to welcome you all to the video. As I say in all my videos, you want to come out and see this nature reserve in person, as my video does not do it justice. There's just so much to see out here. There's about 1.6 miles in trails, and it's broken up between like 5 or so trails. So let's get to it.
All right, so actually coming back straight, when you come down that trail I was on, you'll hit this little area here, and you can see there's some fishing holes and there's some creeks and ponds and whatnot. So I'm gonna keep walking, but this is what you see when you initially walk in. As you can see, there's another little trail marker up here, and so we're gonna go right or left, excuse me, and up this way. So I mean, just looking at this, you can see it's paved, so it's not really that hard. And I think I was looking on a website, and it said this trail's pretty easy. So this is what we're doing. And obviously there's little trails like over here where it's been raining a little bit, so it's going to be marshy back there, so I'm not going to step off. But if you really wanted to take the day and be out here, you could walk off into the woods, and you know, if you were looking for specific types of trees or insects with a child or someone who's interested in that, you could do that. So kind of like Turkey Mountain, there's a lot of different little trail markers and things, so I'll probably be doing a mix of both, just to kind of get the most, but it's pretty nice. So at some point the trail comes out from there to here, and you can walk up that way or go that way or this way. So I'm gonna go this way. Well, actually I'll walk up this way, so we'll see where that leads. All right, and there are some open areas, and there's a little bench area here that's covered, and this isn't like a trail, but you can come out of that area. And I'm just gonna walk back here a little bit. And that's the thing, like right now it's 2:15, so I've given myself a little bit of time. When I come out to trails like this, I try to give myself maybe 2-3 hours, probably 3 hours, just so that I can walk around. Now there are half-mile trails, 1.2-mile trails, and those are things that you can get done within an hour or less, 45 minutes, not too crazy. But I like to kind of meander, and wander around, and that can take another hour and a half. So usually 2.5, 3 hours is good. I just came from there. But yeah, I mean, even if you have an hour, just, taking that half-mile trail, it's very short. So yeah, it's still relaxing no matter what. And for some people it looks the same everywhere, so they don't really see the value, but I like little areas like this. All right, so I've walked a little ways down. As you can see, this is a nice little open area. The trail's not too hard to walk, but you could come out here and sit out here and have a picnic, maybe toss the football around with the kids, things like that. So not a huge field, but good opportunity just to get outdoors. All right, and here we are again. I just took off the trail and walked through this little opening here, and here I am. I think the trail would have like looped around to there, But yeah, this is very, very nice. It's very quiet back here, very serene. I think probably the Claremore community uses this more than, you know, people from the Tulsa metro area. You know, and as you can see, it's just beautiful out here. I'll do a little pano here. Turn a little slowly, but yeah, I mean, this is very nice. I'm just gonna walk back here a little bit, just to kind of see. And as you can see back here, the reserve does border a golf course, and so this area has kind of been cleared out a little bit. Not sure why. Maybe to build that fence line or maintain it easier. I don't know why they do that. I think sometimes it's because trees are old or rotting and there's fire hazards. That could be a thing, you know, because if a tree is struck by lightning and it's dead and the wood is dry, that kind of thing, that can be a hazard, especially back here when the fire department would have to come far back. And when it rains, like, the ground is kind of a little more mushy. It's kind of softer. It's easier to walk on, not as hard. So that's definitely a plus. It's not too muddy back here, so this area is kind of open so the moisture can kind of get up and out. But that's not always the case. So. All right, so a little ways down, as you can see, this is paved. And as you walk, you'll notice neat little bridges like this. I mean, that's not a ton of water. It looks like a big puddle, but if we get, you know, rain constantly week in and week out, a lot of these areas will be marshy and there'll be a lot more puddles, like on the side here. Okay, so this is a really helpful trail marker here, and it kind of explains how this nature reserve is laid out. So a lot of all the trails are actually under 1 mile. And as you can see, you would have to take multiple trails to have a lengthy walk or experience out here, but I'm kind of hopping on this trail and that trail. I think this is an open area here that you can kind of take in. So with the trails being like that, I'll just say that I think that's pretty smart. When you have little short trails like that, you know, people aren't intimidated or overwhelmed by the idea of taking a trail. You could do half a mile. You know, you don't even have to be physically fit to do that. And then if you find that you have the energy to do another one, you can do that. You have these little greenhouses and little gardens over here that they're working on various things. So a little horticulture activity. And here is another trail map. So shouts out to this trail, this reserve, because these maps are amazing. And as you can see, this is a large area. So if you had a trail that went all the way around, I mean, you could probably do 1.5 miles, 2 miles doing that. I'll show you this. I don't know if they normally have these open, but there's fields of study at the school that would use things like this. So this is very nice here. As you can see, got your flowers and whatnot. And so then there's this. I don't exactly know what this is. Probably a stage, you know, where little plays and things are held. But this could have been an old school outdoor auditorium. You see, you have your chairs here. You know, you got your box here. So that's pretty cool. All right. And so you have another little map here. This one's a bit larger, but and it kind of has a rain gauge, that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and go this way. As you can see, some parts of the trail are gravel, and then some parts are kind of more clay with a little gravel. The thing I will say is that you will notice there are quite a few bird boxes out here to support the, you know, natural wildlife, that kind of thing. So that's cool. And then also you'll notice that there are not many lights out here. I would just keep that in mind if you're coming out here, to make sure you have enough daylight. As you can see, there's a nice little pond here, and there is a trail that goes around here. So you could probably fish in these areas. There might be some, I don't know, catfish or something like that. This educational area, this is probably where you would sit and get a lesson on poison ivy, poison oak, that sort of thing. You got some ducks over here, and this is probably husband and wife. Interestingly enough, I think ducks are funny in that I feel like the male duck is one of the most beautiful creatures animals in the world. I just love their green heads, and they just look like they have on a tailored suit to me. And it's very pretty, and female ducks are all right. But all right, so I'm on the other side of those benches and things, and you can see there's a little creek over there. So a lot of little areas like this that you can kind of walk through. All right, so apparently this tree line kind of runs around the border of the park, so I'm just gonna walk back this way to get to where I was. There's one thing that I absolutely cannot capture with my camera, and that is the smell out here. It smells so good and fresh. There's a specific plant that I'm smelling out here. I don't know the name of it, but it smells so good, and it just rained like 2 days ago. There is a little walkway that you can walk, and I'm gonna get on that. This is the edge of one of the trails here. So I think that's like a baseball stadium or something. But there's kind of the fence. There's that birdhouse, so bird feeder. This is something you don't see every day. I'm gonna walk up here. Obviously you want to make sure you have your tetanus shot. But these stairs are steep. It's very interesting for me to be up here, as I have a slight fear of heights, and this metal fencing definitely flexes under your feet, so I'm gonna promptly get down from here. But this is kind of the view from up here. Just give you an idea of how steep these steps are. This is like quite a drop. So here's the top right here, and then here's the drop. All right, so there is this here. I'm not sure what they use this for. Maybe like a wood shop or something, but you know, there are benches and things here. So I think they and there's bird houses and bird feeders over here, but they do offer tours, and I think you can call if you're a group and get like a tour. They have like park people that do those, and they probably stop you here and kind of point out different things, and you may be able to go in a building like that and see some stuff. So, you know, definitely something worth checking out if you have a group, a school. I'm sure school children and different groups come out here, so it's very nice. And it's good to have parts of this paved like this in case you need to run a golf cart out here and get somebody or something like that. So as you walk out from the trail back there, you come to this more open area where you can fish and continue walking the trail to come out. So, alright, so this is a little trail that led off the entrance that I just came into, and I had to cross a little bit of water. It kind of runs parallel with that trail, but we're gonna walk up in here. That thing for less traveled trails. All right, so I'll say that if you're looking for a place to kind of walk out here and sit and read a book, when you're walking into that trail during that from that place where I came in at, just hang the first right, and it'll lead you up here into this area, which is very nice. I think it backs up to one of their facilities here at RSU. Or no, that's the National Reserve. The Army Reserve area. This kind of circles back towards the baseball stadium, and it looks like there is a